Ahoy!
In late December 2024, we packed up our barge in the UK and set off for Belgium. The first step on our move to Sweden, where we'll be turning a small budget into big dreams. We're the lovers.
Bing bong. Still got the name in it.
Otto, Michaela, and our cat Tony. Have we found our house in Sweden? You'll have to wait to find out, but first, let's take a look back to how all of this started. We all met in London during what can only be described as a chaotic time. Life doesn't always go the way we plan. Sometimes we wake up in our 30s and realise, oops, we got a bit off course.
Fucking fashion police.
Or maybe we still have a dream that we haven't dared to reach for. Why can't we build a life that's beautiful, wild, and wholesome? Why can't we allow ourselves to stop living in survival mode and do some cool stuff? But looks can be deceiving, and despite the tattoos, motorbikes, and whatever else you've seen so far, we fully embrace that we are sensitive, nature-loving people. And the more we allow ourselves to lean into that, the better we've felt. So we figured we're gonna keep pulling on that string and see where it takes us. But like I said, this was all 4 years in the making and did not happen overnight. In that time, we moved no less than 5 times. We both tried our hand at various different jobs, all in the search of trying to feel better. Good morning, sir. You look very handsome.
Happy Valentine's Day!
We both agreed when we met that neither of us could ever see ourselves leaving London. And whilst London first seemed like it had a lot to offer, it was only during the past couple of years when we finally dared to actually stop trying to fit into a life that was really stressful.
Hello.
Our definition of a happy life didn't seem to necessarily match up to other people's, and keeping up appearances, in our own way, wasn't really working anymore. So we knew that we had to do something different. We had to figure out for ourselves what we really wanted, what kind of lifestyle would suit us and our sensitivities. And there started a big journey of recovery, self-discovery, and everything in between. We had to leave the city life behind. We had to leave the grind and ourselves in many ways. We needed to take things back to basics.
You're aware, but we are currently out to sea.
By the end of 2023, we were finally done with the city. Life was becoming increasingly squeezed from what felt like every angle. I didn't even know what I'd been working towards in my so-called career. It sure had never made me feel anything but empty and depressed, a toll that neither of us were willing to pay. And after 2 journeys of really intense struggles and challenges, we finally understood the true value of those actual life tools. It had made us resourceful, something that's very actively being removed from modern society. Enter the barge. A first step on our city detox in the Essex countryside. And after a quick handshake deal on a wing and a prayer, we spent a very harsh first winter with a mix of no heating and no water. It was during this time that we learned a lot about ourselves, faced a lot of fears, hard truths, and grew to see what we truly wanted. A home with some land, to feel safe and to have space to grow, perhaps even build some community. But where? And how? Well, the UK was too expensive. and it didn't really offer the nature element that we knew we were longing for either. But then life threw us some big signs. My Swedish roots were calling, and after some short research, we could not believe the opportunity that lay before us. And within months, we'd made the decision, we sold the barge, and we were off on our greatest adventure yet. And as the sun set on our time in the UK, we headed to Belgium, to Otto's hometown of Gent, where we would have 3 months to figure out how we would get to Sweden, and more so, how we would buy a house with the world's smallest budget. Oh, border control looks a bit serious. Admittedly, we were absolutely exhausted from all the travelling, the planning, and the life chaos around us. But we did manage to have an absolutely amazing 3 months in Ghent. Ghent is a city that's made for walking. The architecture is insane, the streets, the buildings, everything is beautiful. Not only did we have a nice time, but we did also end up getting really fit. Which would hold us in good stead for what was to come in Sweden.
See you later, guys. Love you, miss you.
The perks of being in the city. Pizza.
Mementos of their youngest child and Dolan's flowers.
And then came the idea for this YouTube channel.
Tony?
Oh.
Okay.
I don't know, you're still filming.
Where's she gone?
I hit myself in the eye.
And while some parts of the planning went quick, other days felt very, very slow. And having come from a very stressful London, learning to trust the process has been a process.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. I'll do everything. I'll pay it now. Yeah.
So, flights booked, coaches booked.
Yep, sir. This is a spoiler. Oh, we did it. We blooming did it. We found a house online that had been listed privately for over a year without much interest. We didn't have any up-to-date information as the seller had actually never visited the house themselves since buying it 4 years ago. I reached out to a local bakery who kindly asked the neighbours to film the house for us, but the file was corrupted. Woo! We managed to pay someone to salvage half of the grainy footage. We found a courier company to fly the key to our selected airport where we would pick up the key, hire a car and drive to the mystery house.
Don't mind me.
Just put the stuff here first.
Nope, this makes good content.
A lot could go wrong and we had very little control, but somehow we did it. It was emotional being back in Sweden, and even more so driving through my hometown without having time to stop to see my mum, who I really haven't had a chance to see much over the past 10 or more years.
3 minutes until we see the house. How do you feel?
Excited.
Mixed emotions.
Yeah, excited.
Two tired individuals.
Unboxing of the oversized package for 1 key. Journey has been about this 1 key for this one house. Let me introduce to you number 28. What do you think, babe, gazing up at your manor? The crows or the jackdaws came straight away, and I always take that as a beautiful sign. You can hear somewhere in these trees the woodpecker as well. Might just buy the house with a tractor, to be honest. Bing bong. Still got the name in it. You ready?
So, electricity check. Check. Oh, it's on. Didn't expect that. This is the built-in stuff from back in the day.
Oh, that's the OG.
By this point in our journey, we were absolutely exhausted, and admittedly, we could probably have taken a lot better and a lot more footage of the house. But this will give you some idea of the state of affairs after this house has been empty for at least 4 years, and likely not been refurbed since 1945 when it was first built. I've always dreamt of a white kakelugn, but this old girl is going to need some serious TLC before she'll be heating up this house.
The smoke is going up. Or just coming out. Which is coming out.
That's interesting. But it's really hard to say.
We've just found another really cool but creepy fridge in the cellar.
Okay, go.
What? Is it a fridge?
Yeah, it's just a broken door. It's empty.
Ah,
Well, empty spot.
Okay, good.
But that's really handy if it works.
It's beautiful, actually.
Massive
It's
freezer.
very cool.
hey.
Hey. This whole, you know, the bottom bit is rotten.
Yeah.
So usually you put a tile, you put a thing on, put a nail through it,
Yeah.
or you hang them over nails. I can't
Yeah, something like that.
remember. So they don't slide down, obviously. So these are loose.
So they're just sliding off.
They might, but it's better than rot.
Yeah.
That's that.
Oh wow, babe, look at you go.
Oh, but this chimney's connected.
Jesus Christ, I can't even look. I don't even want to know where he's going now. No. Oh my god, I don't have the balls.
We found a little.
That's inside.
Wow. Perfect honeycomb. Well, without the honey. Just a comb.
Little clothing cupboard. Very nice. Cute shirt, mate. Oh, look at that. That's sick. How cool is that? Some nice boots to go with it. Really nice boots, actually. What size? Anyway, it's really hard to focus. Nice little locking system. This room's actually alright, to be honest. Oh, bless. So, carrying on. So this is where our crawling space, I think, is behind there. Oh, hello. Yep, up here. No, I'm just making a video.
I was going to say, I haven't managed to think we should be able to just cut. If we can cover the roof and dry it somehow.
Yeah. There's a brand new sofa in here.
What?
Beautiful blue velvet sofa in there.
What?
Yeah.
I've always wanted a velvet sofa. So far, knowing that we've not looked at everything, but we've seen a lot. And it's a lot. How do you feel?
It's a lot. But I can see us do it. This is the bigger issue.
Oh. This is the biggest issue.
And it needs time.
Lots of ventilation there. And then there's a hole in the roof. But this is why it's 14,000 euros. Babe?
Nice. I'm shaking. You're scaring me.
I'm getting a good picture of who used to live here. Could come in handy though. You never know. Neighbours might dodge it. So baby, it's time to leave the yellow house.
Hello. The journey home was a bit of a blur. We were tired, weary, and very overwhelmed. We had a lot to think about.
I don't know. Just trust the process. If there's a clear reason when we decide not to go ahead to buy the house, then there'll be something else.
Yeah. Come on. I feel so like just grateful how welcoming like the Swedes have been, how at home it can feel for two people who have felt so alien for so long, and then we come here and everyone's been so nice. Tack Sverige.
Amazingly, this was the first house that we viewed, but we knew straight away that we'd fallen in love with this rickety old girl, and we could definitely see ourselves living a really happy life there. Not to mention, actually, that this was Otto's first ever time even visiting this country. And even though I'm originally from Sweden, I moved from there back in 1997 when I was just 7 years old.
Ready, babe? Back to Belgium for a bit to chill. Chill with Tony. Delicious. You are delicious.
Little bit of solsken in the airport.
But first, we needed to head back to Ghent to be reunited with our beloved Tony, and to sit down and have a think about, how do we actually buy a house in Sweden? How do we do these renovations? Can we do these renovations? What about our budget? And more so, how do we move our life and our belongings over to Sweden?
Hello.
Laptops and larger devices must be stowed during taxi takeoff and landing. Do you have your device visible when charging and...
Well, as it turns out, things move quickly with us, and by next week's episode, we'll be able to share with you exactly how we put that plan into action, baby.
before. Not a bit.
And hey, for you like-minded souls out there, please subscribe to follow along our journey as we hope to inspire to live a little more, dare to dream, and even if you don't have a big budget or a budget at all, which was the case for us just over a year ago, to see that you can still make so much happen. Let's go, and we'll see each other next week, pals.
Finally found our van for Sweden, guys. HCBC. Sweden. And beyond.